Hello, welcome to this update for the Western Pacific. Let's see what's happening. We have some systems active in the Western Pacific, such as Tropical Storm Nara and Tropical Depression 7. So let's first talk about Tropical Depression 7 in the Western Pacific. It formed as a tropical depression just south of Japan, right near Japan and South Korea, and is forecast to pass right in between Japan and South Korea as a tropical storm. It's still like very weak and disorganized. As you can see here, we just have some blobs of disorganized thunderstorms, but it might strengthen a bit more and organize into a tropical storm. So we are watching this system closely. Some models are still kind of split on this because there's the GFS, half of the ensembles go east towards Japan and half of them curve west closer to South Korea. But the general track is going north, like northwest towards South Korea. So there's the Canadian shoe down here. It also has some of the ensembles going further northeast, closer to Japan. And the Canadian average is like going right into Japan and later curving, maybe approaching South Korea. But the Canadians is taking this all into Japan. But for now, the official forecast is for this to go right between Japan and South Korea, but very, very close to Japan. So please be careful in those areas, especially if this strengthens into a tropical storm. So the models, like the European models, is already initializing this right between Japan and South Korea as 996, like tropical storm strength, but still disorganized. The European takes a big part of this into South Korea with some heavy rain, and then the low pressure stays on the Sea of Japan and kind of brings more storms later. So we'll keep watching those areas. The 001 had a similar thing, it kind of initiated there, where it's now in the sea near Japan and South Korea, and it kind of went the low pressure itself right in between Japan and South Korea, but it went with some heavy rain towards the southern part of Japan, and especially having South Korea. So be careful in those areas. Please stay safe. So Tropical Storm Nara is kind of close to Japan as well. It's to the east of Japan. So there's one system to the west and another to the east. You should really watch both of these areas. So Tropical Storm Nara goes like to the east of Japan. It might bring some heavy rain as well because you pass very close to Japan. So be careful in those areas. In terms of wind, it doesn't show much for Tropical Depression 7. For wind gusts here, it does show higher. Like now it's Monday night there, shows some strong gusts near Amami and other areas there. And there's Tropical Storm Naya, already some very strong winds with it. So Sunday to Monday shows the worst winds stay out to sea, but this might cause some very rough surf in Japan. So be careful, and also a few spots inland slightly gustier. And then as Tropical Depression 7 goes, it does show some stronger winds south central Japan in these areas here, but also in the Sea of Japan, some stronger gusts. So Monday to Tuesday especially, and then the rest of Tropical Storm Nara might leave by Tuesday some stronger gusts on the east coast of Japan. So be careful in case you are like in southernmost Japan or in eastern to northeastern Japan, because shows like the northern island of Japan by Tuesday some higher gusts, and then this goes and still kind of high until Wednesday morning. So be careful those areas, and if you check here the forecast for tropical storm Nai shows it goes near Japan. It might go very close to the North Island there, like this northern part of this big island of Japan. And also the official forecast takes the rest of this into the North Island. So this might produce some very strong winds. Please be careful, and some heavy rain too from tropical storm Nai. So be aware. And in the satellite, it's a very crazy system because there's some dry air on the west side, but a lot of rain convection on the northern and eastern side. So we'll see what happens to this, but it's going north and entering some cooler water. So not much is expected, but still some heavy rain and strong winds. And because the GFS ensembles even strengthens this a little bit more, like to 987, close to Japan compared to it's now 994. So this might strengthen some more. So please be careful in those areas. And here, there's like the rainfall accumulation, the European model. It shows like next 5 days in Japan and those areas, it shows close to 200 millimeters. A few spots central Japan. It has around 50 millimeters in Tokyo, more spots on the East Coast and also southern Japan. So with these systems nearby, be careful with flooding and everything, especially like this is until Friday, shows in South Korea to 277 millimeters, 179, but not all of this will come from Tropical Depression 7, just part of it, because if I put it until Wednesday, it barely shows anything, just shows like 9, 10 millimeters until Wednesday. So the part that will come from Tropical Depression 7 is the part like in eastern South Korea, so some 73 millimeters, North Korea especially. The European shows the northernmost part of North Korea, the more than 100 millimeters from the remnants of Tropical Depression 7 as it goes further north into Russia and northern North Korea. So be careful those areas too. The GFS shows like it doesn't show as much as the European, just as some 65 millimeters in northern North Korea, and in South Korea just as some 27 millimeters. So be aware those areas. The icon shows slightly more. It shows like the European, like to 139 millimeters on this part of the northeastern coast of northern North Korea. So be careful those areas. So some possible flooding and more spots in South Korea. The icons even to 100 millimeters, some isolated spots in South Korea, like today, basically today and tomorrow from Tropical Depression 7. So stay safe in those areas. Be careful, and in case this really gets upgraded to a tropical storm, it might bring even worse conditions, especially in terms of rainfall, wind gusts. So be careful, some damaging winds in a few areas, with the storm and some flooding possible, and even some rough surf. So be careful. And noise this season, be careful not just with surf but rip currents as well, and stay safe. Those islands in Japan there shows some heavy rain because of these systems. So if I put it until Friday, shows a surge of moisture going to South Korea, and until Friday the 18th shows like 300 millimeters in South Korea next 5 days. This might cause a lot of flooding. So the GFS just 48 millimeters, but the GFS is worse in Japan. It has like 200 millimeters in the next 5 days in Japan. But if I put just until Wednesday, it doesn't have much. So the part that will come from Tropical Storm Nari is mainly in eastern Japan, like close to 100 millimeters in a spot or two. But this surge of moisture later next week, like until Friday, between Wednesday and Friday, July 16th to July 18th, shows more than 200 millimeters. The Europeans is a similar thing in this area. And if I put just until the 16th, the European array shows a few spots to more than 100 millimeters central Japan. But if I put it until Tuesday, it doesn't show much. But until Friday, it does increase a lot. So be careful during the whole week in those areas, some flooding. So stay safe. Also, the damaging winds from those storms. So be careful. In this island in Ogasawara, be careful. Some heavy rain as well. More spots in the southern islands of Japan. Some passing showers and storms as usual this time of year. So be aware. In Taiwan, a few showers and storms as well. Always be careful the stronger ones. And also in China, same thing. Be careful across eastern China and southernmost China as well. In the high elevations, mainly some snow and showers, but be aware some storms northern China, Mongolia. A few fronts in Russia might affect Mongolia. If you check the European model here, shows like Sunday, as this the Tropical Depression 7 kind of goes further into North Korea by Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. The European does show this front, northern China, by Tuesday, some stronger storms too, and this might cause that surge of moisture on Wednesday Wednesday to Friday in South Korea. But the GFS is different. It has the front in Mongolia and China around Monday and Tuesday with some storms, but it has a weaker surge of moisture on Wednesday, so it doesn't go direct into South Korea. It kind of weakens, and the heaviest goes towards Japan between Wednesday and Friday. So be careful of those storms and stay safe. And there's something you should clearly notice here across the Western Pacific. It's this section here, east of the Philippines, this big area over the ocean with more than 100 meters. This is our next area to watch for tropical development in the second to last week of July. So thus showing Palau already to 150 meters next 5 days, and this area goes as far north as the northern Philippines. Just to give you an idea, the ensembles from the European have a lot of support for something forming up in a week or so and heading towards the northern Philippines, China, or into Taiwan. So there's still a lot of favorable environment in this area. So we're monitoring very closely for the potential of a storm, a tropical storm, or even a typhoon in the next few weeks across Taiwan, China, or even the northern Philippines. So this area is very favorable still, and you can clearly see this by the rainfall accumulation. There'll be those disturbances firing in those areas. So we will keep watching, and if you are in the Philippines, be careful with showers and storms because many areas of the central Philippines, more than 200 meters next 5 days. Central Philippines into the South China Sea, more than 150 meters, and also in the eastern Philippines, a few areas in central most areas. So these areas are very prone to landslides. Please be careful with landslides and flash flooding, and also in the northernmost Philippines in northern Luzon. So be careful, even to 137 millimeters in Calayan. So stay safe. There's a few passing storms near Guam as well, but especially in Palau. So stay safe in the Philippines. There's the icon. It doesn't have that much, but it does have in the South China Sea, Western Central Philippines, some heavy rain. The GFS is like in the ocean, even to 600 meters in the middle of the ocean. It has to 131 in Micronesia, some in Palau, and does have in the Philippines some areas of possible flooding. So stay safe in those areas. And here, for the latest run, the zero C of the European, it does have Tropical Storm Nari. It goes there along with Tropical Depression 7 in those areas. Then there's this moisture by July 16th, just east of the Philippines. It starts to organize on July 17th, and the European forms a tropical storm kind of by July 18th. And then it goes to the South China Sea, and goes into China as a tropical storm. So the Europeans is very light with this compared to the other models. So it goes into China and possibly more flooding. And then it forms another system after that on the 25th, goes further north into central China, and it forms another system out to sea on the 28th. So the fact that the European model is showing this many systems means that the environment is very favorable and very unstable there. So the GFS, you already know how it is. It wants to burst giant typhoons that never happen. But let's see here. It shows this starts to form by July 16th around the Western Pacific. This is already next Wednesday, so it's already a few days away. So this goes, it strengthens this into a typhoon by the 19th. The GFS goes all the way to 937 super typhoon on July 20th, goes into Taiwan, into China. So I doubt this will become a super typhoon. I think it'll just be a moderate tropical storm to weak typhoon strength. But in case the GFS is right, that only 1% of the time it is, but you never know, just be watching. Even if this is just a tropical storm, it will already cause flooding in Taiwan and China if it goes there towards July 20th. So please be aware. And after that, the GFS tries to form a broad system towards Japan and South Korea again, and more circulations in the ocean to watch after that. It even tries to form something in the Central Pacific. So be aware those areas. There's the icon too. The icon's not so good for tropical cyclones, but let's see here. It has tropical storm Nari and tropical depression 7. This goes like and it has a circulation by July 17th east to the Philippines. It goes and it doesn't strengthen too much, but might become a tropical storm on the icon. There's the Canadian model, and you can see right here it's trying to form multiple systems. So it goes. Let's start on July 16th. So it still has the disturbance there. It has two disturbances, one further south near Palau and another one near the Philippines on July 17th. So it goes, it forms the first one into a tropical storm, a weak tropical storm just north of the Philippines into the South China Sea, and it forms the second disturbance into a typhoon by July 19th. So the first one goes into China, and the second one becomes a typhoon east of the Philippines on the 23rd. So I think the Canadians kind of speculating as well. The most realistic scenario is the European that it forms just one tropical storm and goes into China around the 20th. But you never know. We might have more systems after that. So if you are in China, Taiwan, or the Philippines, you should watch this very closely. If you are in Japan or South Korea, focus on staying safe now from both of these systems and just watch the near future later in case more comes. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. And here now for Southeast Asia, still some heavy rainfall in those areas in Myanmar, Bangladesh. It's showing especially a lot around Bangladesh and northeastern India next 5 days. So same thing as usual. Be careful with flooding there, and also river flooding and flash flooding, especially if they're like further north in mountainous terrain. Be careful with landslides. So shows around northeastern India right to Bangladesh, some 135 millimeters next 5 days, 180, most of central northern Bangladesh. Let's just put like 2 days to see what changes. So next 2 days shows right to 110 millimeters in Bangladesh, more spots to 109. In Myanmar, in next 2 days to 200, 126, northeastern India. So this area will have some very heavy rainfall only in the next 48 to 72 hours. So please be careful. But let's go slightly further ahead to 7 days. And by 7 days, it shows to like 200 millimeters, northern Bangladesh, even Nepal, almost 200. So please stay safe in those areas. Let's go back to 5 days here as a baseline. So shows this area central northern Myanmar to 173 millimeters. And for further north is slightly better than before, but still more than 100 millimeters those areas. The coast is a little bit better because a few weeks ago it was like 200 millimeters there. It's now better, but still some storms to watch. So be careful. And further south, still some more storms. Still on the southern coast of Thailand into Cambodia, occasionally some heavier downpours into northern Cambodia, even to 200 and 130 in spots of Laos into northern Thailand. So be careful across Laos into Thailand as well. Northern Vietnam, because sometimes that tropical moisture builds and I see some very big downpours in southern Vietnam. So be careful in those areas across Laos and everything. Now the satellite shows some tremendous storms across northeastern India. So if you're listening to me right now, these storms are right over you. If it's like July 13th now, it's almost nighttime there. So if you watch this around July 14th, the storms will be already different, but the downpours will continue throughout this week. So please be careful. But you can see the size of these storms. A lot of flooding possible, even in Bangladesh, further into northeastern India. So stay safe in those areas across Cambodia, a few ones into Vietnam, and those ones in southeastern China. So stay safe in those areas. And across in India shows the southwestern monsoon might bring more to like western India, especially on the southwestern coast, to 104 millimeters next 5 days. Some 78 in Mumbai and more areas locally higher. Shows in southwestern Bangladesh, not Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, southwestern Sri Lanka, spots in the Maldives, some passing showers and storms. And these storms have gusty winds in them, so be careful. In the further north you go, the higher the chances for hail too. So be careful. There's this area central to Western India, like northwestern India. This area is to more than 100 millimeters as well, 172 spots to 278. So please be careful, like central northwestern India, some flooding, especially spots of Pakistan to 116 next 5 days. And Pakistan is very vulnerable to flash flooding, so please be careful. These areas of northwestern India as well. So more storms, central northern Pakistan. There's the GFS. It doesn't show too much in Pakistan, but shows a lot in northwestern India as well. Spots of central northern India. And the icon is still crazy about northern Pakistan to like 300 millimeters. But it might happen or not because most of the models are further south, but still has this area northwestern India, just like all the other models, central northern India. So please be careful. Some storms in New Delhi as well, but the worst is further south. But stay safe. And the icon has like more the southern Nicobar Islands as well, and some regular tropical storms, tropical showers across spots of Malaysia into Indonesia. So be careful, like especially Western Guinea, Indonesia, some heavier downpours. Southwest Indonesia, the extreme south is dry, but the central to northern areas more passing showers and storms. So be careful because you never know. Those storms can be strong. And if you watched the Oceania video I did this morning, you know what this blob here in the ocean is. It's a possible tropical system in the southern hemisphere because of a weak Kelvin wave there, because the Madden Julian oscillations right over the Western Pacific with all the favorable environment, there's this weak Kelvin wave even boosting the environment even more. So we might have a short-lived rare tropical system in the southern Indian Ocean, but the model guidance is very low on that. It barely shows a tropical depression, so this will likely just be a disturbance. But interesting thing to see. And there's across Seabreeze Village some passing showers and storms, so be careful in those areas and stay safe. Some rain across spots of Tajikistan, to Kyrgyzstan. There will be turning to snow in the high elevations, so be aware. And it does show snow in the Himalayas still across the highest peaks, 23 centimeters, even to like 22 spots, even to 28 centimeters. So still be aware in Tibet, Western China, northernmost India, spots in Nepal, even Tajikistan into northern Afghanistan, some snow in the mountains, even Kyrgyzstan. So be aware those areas, northern Siberia, there's still this section in Siberia with some snow. It even shows the spots there, spots to 43 centimeters. So be aware that section there in Siberia, the GFS as well, it has like central to eastern Siberia, and the icons some snow too. So be aware in some isolated spots further east as well. The Caucasus, mainly nothing, especially so most of the snow is mostly in the Himalayas. So be aware those areas. Be careful those fronts in Russia. Like there's this severe weather there in Western Russia now. If you check the forecast for Europe here, there's those storms in Italy, those strong storms, even level 1 in Ireland, spots in northern Africa. But there in Western Russia, this level 2 for today, it's very late in the afternoon. Most of the storms are already happening, but they do say severe wind gusts and heavy rain, and large hail and tornado events possible into Russia and to Estonia. So still be careful across Europe, those areas in Russia. But as those cold fronts make it into central Russia, it does show more storms possible. And if there's enough instability and heat, some of them might be severe, a few isolated severe storms. So be careful. Tuesday, Wednesday, those fronts just continue there throughout Russia. So be aware. Does show the accumulation till Friday, the 18th. Shows like a few areas dry, like northeastern Russia, a few areas drier, and a few isolated spots on the west. But most of central Russia, a lot of rain from these fronts. Some spots even to 86 millimeters, a few spots. So be careful. Northern Kazakhstan, the tail end these fronts as well, and the south is dry in Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. It's very hot and dry there. But yeah, be aware across Russia, some rain Mongolia, especially in eastern Mongolia and China, that front. But be aware those areas in Russia. The Europeans even have spots to 102 millimeters, so be careful those storms and a few showers across Turkey, Georgia, and the Caucasus, especially some afternoon thunderstorms. So be careful, and a storm or two in the mountains in the afternoon, a shower or two as well. So be careful in those areas and stay safe. now there's this heat still, like especially in the Middle East. Some far is there, especially in the most extreme parties is in Iraq, still Iraq into Syria. It's still like it's still the evening there. It's not even the hottest time of the day anymore. It's already the evening. It's still 42 degrees. So really be careful in those areas. And there's Monday afternoon tomorrow does show some very dangerous heat, especially like in Saudi Arabia, so 46 to 47 degrees, even to 48 a few spots in the desert. So if you are out there, be careful. Some 37 in Dubai, already very hot. United Arab Emirates, even to 47, some 41 in Doha, 44 in Qatar, but does show to 50 degrees Celsius in a few spots of Western Iran into southeastern Iraq. So really be careful, especially southern southeastern Iraq, northern Kuwait to 48, 50 to 49. So please stay safe. The heat indices, like the feels like temperatures, might be more than 55 degrees. So please stay safe in those areas. So 49, the 47 degrees goes all the way to northern Iraq, spots to 45 in Syria, southern Turkey to 44. So please stay safe. Also, some high 30s to low 40s in spots of southern Russia to Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and quite hot a few spots of China. So be aware, even like southwestern India, some 36 degrees. So Monday during the night does cool down, but still like if even remains like some 36 degrees during the night. And if that wasn't hot enough during the day, imagine having 36 degrees during the night and 50 degrees during the day. Your body has no time to recover from the heat. So please stay safe. This is like very, very extreme. And heat can be as dangerous as flooding if you aren't careful. So please be careful and stay cool. Have some ways of cooling and air conditioning and stay cool the best way you can. So the show still by Tuesday, close to 49 degrees in the in spots, especially in Iraq, central southeastern Iraq, spots Saudi Arabia 47, spots in Oman 46. So stay safe in those areas. Jordan, some 30 is close to 40. So Tuesday into Wednesday, slightly better during the night, but still shows Wednesday in the hottest time of the day to 49 to 50 degrees possible in Iraq. The GFS is like 40 to 50 as well, so some 49 to 50. The icon is like to 48. The icon is not quite at 50, but it does have 49 in Western Iran, but 50 degrees possible on the European. Please stay safe. In some lower elevations might be locally higher, the heat in the sea especially. So please be careful. Even to 48 into United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, it's some 43 in Doha, so very, very hot. Please stay safe. And at the same time, the wet bulb temperatures does show around some 30 degrees in Dubai and 26 in Doha. So the wet bulb temperature is a combination of the humidity present and the actual temperature. And if the wet bulb temperature gets higher than 35 degrees, it can kill you in less than 6 hours. So it's very serious. And it being 30 degrees in Dubai, the wet bulb, it's already very dangerous to tourists. So please be careful, have air conditioning and don't stay outside too much because this humidity from the Persian Gulf plus that heat makes some very dangerous weather conditions. So stay safe, even to 29 in other parts of the Persian Gulf. So be careful. And in the low 20s, it's kind of fine, but I consider above 25 already dangerous to watch, and above 35, it's lethal. So please stay safe, especially if it's 30. And then this is Wednesday, during the night it drops. Thursday shows some 27 in Doha and some islands to 29, and does reach close to 30 again Friday there in Dubai. So stay safe, especially like right here in Dubai, it's showing some 31 wet bulb temperatures by July 19th, Saturday. 31. If this happens, it can be extremely dangerous. Please stay safe. And in Abu Dhabi, the show to 30, in Dubai around 31. So please be careful if this actually happens. But just be mindful. And actually for Monday, the 14th, tomorrow shows 30 in Abu Dhabi, and Dubai is actually showing just 28, but that's already close to 30. So be careful in those areas. Just stay safe, and the most important thing is hydration. Stay hydrated. So here to continue with the actual temperatures. Thursday, the 17th, shows around Saudi Arabia to 49 degrees, a few spots, more spots to 48 in the desert. So please stay safe. But the more populated areas show some 36 in Dubai, some 37 in other areas, some 44 in Doha. So please be careful. Nearly 50 degrees northeastern Saudi Arabia. Please stay safe. In Iran and Iraq, nearly to 51 degrees in a few areas. The heat indices might be like even to like more than 57 degrees. Usually higher humidity drives higher heat indices, but this area is very dry. It's like dry heat. The humidity is very low. But even if you are standing out there 51 degrees, it will feel like even it might feel higher than 55. So please stay safe in those areas. Shows some 48 degrees even to central northern Iraq. So this is a very serious event. Be careful, the GFS not so extreme, but to 50 degrees as well, western Iran. And then Friday does lower down during the night, but still like some 48 degrees in Saudi Arabia, 47 United Arab Emirates, and still showing to 51 western Iran on the European. So please stay safe in those areas. Warn others that this is coming. Please stay safe. And along the coast shows some 30, even to 39, to 36, 38. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. Let's just see one thing here. 1 minute. So here, so further north, this is Friday, the 18th, shows in Turkmenistan, even to 45 degrees in Turkmenistan, in Uzbekistan, spots in Kazakhstan. So very hot in those areas too. Be careful. Interior parts of Western China to 41, even 44. Near Eastern China, just some 30s, mid to high 30s. So be aware in those areas, but especially like Thursday, the 17th in Uzbekistan, even to 45 in Turkmenistan. So stay safe in those areas too. In the far north, does show like kind of cold in Siberia, especially in some mountains. There's some high elevations, some negative temperatures where that snow is. But southern Russia is quite mild, and the southwest is very hot. But still some slightly below average temperatures in Siberia. But in the afternoon does warm up, especially across northern China and to eastern Russia does warm up too. So be aware, in some days even showing like to northern coastal Russia to 26 degrees, so it's quite warm. And yeah, be aware. And spots across China does show even some days central-east China to 37 degrees. In the south is mainly tropical temperatures, but it's a few areas hot as well. So stay safe, be careful. And there's just some quick view on the wingas in the Arabian Sea, there in Japan and South Korea of those storms. Be careful in North Korea and into southeastern Russia. Tropical Depression 7 causes some high gusts there. So stay safe Monday into Tuesday. Still a few spots in the Middle East as usual, and like those classic spots in northern China, those mountains between Afghanistan and Iran, and shows in Kazakhstan as well, slightly stronger by Thursday the 17th. In the Indian Ocean, of course, the Arabian Sea, and a few spots the southern Bay of Bengal as well. And if the cyclones, the Western Pacific form, shows more agitated around there as well. Be careful, this around the 19th shows some stronger gusts in northwesternmost Russia and to Europe. So yeah, be aware, but stay safe, especially the tropics and the extreme heat.